People keep asking me, why is Super Training Gym now free? Why is the Power Project free? And the answer is simple. Because this is about fame, not fortune and fried food. And you're lucky you caught me in a good mood. This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, answering more questions today for the Power Project on bodybuilding.com. We have a question today from a guy named Slade Newberry. What an awesome name, first of all. I love when I get these great names. My name is just Mark Bell. I think that's kind of a cheap name. Slade Newberry, congratulations on having an awesome name. Slade's question is, he has a problem with getting it up. True. Not getting it up in the way that you perverts are thinking about, but he has a problem getting it up for training. He has a problem getting fired up for training. He has a problem getting himself pumped, getting himself excited about training. He's a student, and by the time he gets to the gym, he feels somewhat fried, and he feels tired. We've all felt it. Don't deny it. Everyone has felt tired before. Everyone's felt like leaving the gym a few sets early and not doing the rest of their training session. We've all been there before. And there's a lot of ways, there's a lot of things that can help hype you up for lifting. And I'll give you a couple things that can help hype you up for lifting that aren't going to overstimulate you too much. Because there are some pre-workout things out there that are fantastic, but you don't want to become too much of a junkie. So let's go over this first. There's a product called Alpha Brain. Actually, I think it's Joe Rogan's company. That is a very effective product. I've used it myself before. I'm not endorsed by them or anything like that, but it's a very effective product. You should look into that, or look into products that are similar to that. There are products that are similar. There are competitors, but that's the one that I've used in the past and had success with. It's just something that's going to get your brain stimulated and kind of get rid of that little head fog that you get. I know some of you guys out there also have manual labor type jobs where you're you're working hard all day, and then you're trying to get to the gym, and then you got to move more shit around, and you're just exhausted at that point, and you need a little kick. Now you can go with something else. You can go with another product called acetyl L-carnitine. That's something I've used as well. That's also kind of a brain focus type thing, and you can look at other products that help you focus in on your training. Another natural way to do it is to avoid carbohydrates before training, and avoid carbohydrates in excess. Try not to eat too many carbohydrates. Try to avoid sugary carbohydrates. Now let's talk about energy drinks for a second. There's a lot of energy drinks out there that are loaded with sugar, which is the stupidest thing in the world, because you get a nice ramp up from the caffeine, but then you get a nice downward tilt from the sugar. Once that sugar rush starts to falter, which is probably midway through your workout, plus it's shunting your ability to burn body fat during your training session probably. Anyway, that's another topic for another day. But they're loaded with sugar. Try to avoid those. They do make no-carb ones, and that might be something you want to look into. Now let's talk about taking some of these products that are stimulants. You got like a product that I use is from MusclePharm. Now they're a sponsor of mine, I should point out. So of course I'm going to plug them first. But I've taken Assault before. I don't know if you guys have ever taken that product before, but that's a fantastic pre-workout. There's a couple other great ones out there, so look into it. There's a lot of great pre-workout drinks. Another pre-workout drink that I do is I just get a big giant thing of coffee. I get a scoop of protein or two, normally about 1 scoop of protein, because my workouts can be pretty demanding, and I don't want to have that kind of sluggish feeling down in the belly. I don't want my belly to be kind of working overtime before as I'm training. So what I'll do is I'll take a scoop of whey protein. Any type of whey protein will do. Something that you find easily digestible. Whey protein hydrosylates are the easiest ones to digest. I hope I'm saying that correctly. That in my opinion is the easiest one to digest. Second easiest would be any sort of whey protein isolate. Look at any of those types. I mix in 1 scoop in a shaker cup. Shaker cup's dry. And then I go to Starbucks. I grab a cup of coffee, or iced coffee, I should say. It's got to be cold. If it's hot, it's going to like just totally annihilate your protein, and it gets all functified. And you don't want that. So I'll take the iced coffee, mix it together with the protein shake, and voila, there we have about 30-40 grams of protein, some BCAAs, some glutamine, all the good stuff's in there to get you ready for your training, to help with protein synthesis, and also the stimulation of the caffeine, obviously. So there's a bunch of options right there. I would also suggest that if you're going to go the route of these pre-workout stimulants, that you try to use them, cautiously. Don't use them all the time. Try to rely on them more so for heavy training sessions. Maybe you take them for 3 weeks at a time and then you back off. That type of thing. You don't want to become too dependent on any one thing. Now, how do you get yourself hyped up while you're in a gym? Let's say you already took the stimulants and you're still not excited to be there and you still want to leave. Well, here's a couple things to keep in mind. Thing number one to keep in mind is the best way to get a PR, or the only way to get a PR every single time you step into the gym, is to do what? Power Project Army. A lot of you guys know what I'm going to say out there. Those of you that are loyal fans, those of you who've been Power Project soldiers for a long time, you know that I'm going to tell you that try something new, try something different. Recently I've heard from Dan Green, world record holder in the 242-pound weight class, 826 squat, 518 bench, 815 deadlift, chew on those numbers, 2160 at 242. And he has told me recently that he likes to set rep records. John Anderson, professional strongman, same thing. John Anderson's about 300 pounds and totally and completely jacked out of his mind. And so they'll set rep records. So they'll do, let's say they do 500 for 5 one week. Maybe the next week they want to try to do 500 for 6 or 7. Or they'll try more weight for the same amount of reps. Or the same weight for more reps, and so on. It's not always every single week that they pick those weights. Sometimes they'll switch to a triple or a single, or they'll go back up to sets of 8 and so on. But those are some great ways to get some stimulation, make yourself feel good about yourself. Speaking of feeling good about yourself, throw yourself an underhand pitch every once in a while. Not everything's always got to be a curveball. You don't always have to make training so damn hard all the time. It's hard enough as it is, isn't it? It is, right? Shit, I mean, even just getting yourself there is a big part of the battle, right? And we got to get there consistently, and we got to get there a lot if you want to be jacked and tan. So, having said that, throw yourself an underhand pitch every once in a while and hit that son bitch out of the park. Try to pick an exercise that you know you're good at. Pick something that you know that you like. If bench press is your thing, if you like doing close grip benches because you like to beat up on your buddies, and you had a bad day, you had to do a bunch of stuff for the day, you had to work and do a bunch of other things. Look, I got kids, I got a wife, I'm running my kid around a baseball practice. I know what it's like. I don't have a real job, but I know what it's like. I know how it is. So we all get run down, we all get overwhelmed with life sometimes, and make sure that you're Make sure that you're making the most of your training session when you're there. And if it's not there, it's not there. You know what? It's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any better. Like when you're in the gym, if you're feeling like shit, it ain't going to get any better. So maybe for that particular day, you go to do a bench and your bench sucks. Maybe you just finish out training some pipes and try to get a pump. That is something that will actually make you feel good. Do a couple sets of 25 or a couple sets of 50 on something and almost like punish yourself. That punishment will actually relieve you of a lot of stress. It's going to send some stuff to your brain. You're going to make you feel good about yourself. You're going to feel swole and in control. And whenever you feel like that, you can never go wrong. Multiply your muscle, multiply your hustle. Strength is never a weakness, and that is it from supertraining.tv and bodybuilding.com.